Yo, what's good? Yesterday, with the announcement of Mayweather versus Pacquiao, it produced a lot of excitement into boxing. It might have breathed another life into boxing. This is what the mainstream sports journalists talk about when they say boxing is dead and that there is a fight to save boxing. Oscar De La Hoya versus Mayweather was supposed to save boxing, and this fight is supposed to resurrect boxing from its grave as well. But let me tell you, this fight happening, though I am very excited about this fight finally happening, I'm a realist. I'm a type of guy that isn't always positive. I'm more of a glass half full. So I'm gonna make this video on why Mayweather versus Manny happening is not that great. And then I'll make another one saying why this fight happening is great. Obvious reasons why this fight is great. But I think, for me at least, there's more reasons why this fight happening now. Don't get me wrong. This fight happening at May 2nd, 2015 happening. Why that sucks. It sucks. Let's face it. The fight is 5 years overdue. Imagine how good this fight would have been in 2010 when instead of Mayweather facing Mosley, he would have faced Manny Pacquiao. Or he could have faced Pacquiao in September. But oh no, he had to fight once a year then when he got out of retirement. He had to fight. It's 5 years overdue. These guys are no spring chicken anymore. They're they're basically a few fights from retiring now, both of them. They're closing at 40. Mayweather's gonna be 38 when he fights, and Pacquiao's Pacquiao's 36. A 36-year-old and a 38-year-old fighting. Two old ass men fighting. That's the greatest fight in boxing history. Neither of them on their prime. Neither of them have looked very good in their last few fights. It's just long overdue. Long overdue. Gabriel Montoya, he said on Twitter, he did a comment, he said, if a 38-year-old fighting a 36-year-old is the biggest fight in boxing, that just says what a sorry state. That just says how sorry the sport of boxing is these days. Because these two old ass men fighting, that's the biggest fight that could be made? Really? Another reason why this fight happening is not that great, it's probably not going to be as good. And yeah, for all the Pactards and Mayweather haters, they're not gonna like what I'm saying, but Mayweather's gonna blow him out. He's gonna run. He's gonna stick and move. It's more likely that Mayweather's gonna win an easy fight, sort of like a Canelo. I hope it's a lot better than the Canelo fight, but I don't see this fight being very competitive. I mean, Pac-Man's bad. Pac's a bad man, but I just don't see anyone competing with Mayweather. But if anybody can beat Mayweather, it's Pacquiao. But Pacquiao's got to come with everything. But this may not be a great fight. And with all the attention it's getting, all the promotion, all the money that's going to be spent, we're talking about like $1 billion. This fight is gonna produce, man. Billion. I can't even understand how much money that is. That is so much money. But just like Mayweather Canelo, boxing did not become more popular when that fight happened, even though that's the highest grossing fight of all time, because that fight was not a great fight. Like back in the day, you'd get Roberto Duran versus Leonard versus Hagler, Leonard versus Hearns, Hagler Hearns. And these fights were the biggest fights that could be made. and they were really good fights, so they attracted more fans to keep watching. If fans don't keep watching after this only puts money into Mayweather and Pacquiao and Bob Arum and Golden Boy and Al Heyman's pocket. It doesn't help the sport's popularity. And if it doesn't help the sport's popularity, then it was all for nothing. I don't care to make Mayweather richer anymore, or Pacquiao, or Bob Arum, or Golden Boy. I want to see good fights. And though I am excited about this fight happening, I'm not excited about the possible mismatch that this fight may be. Again, two guys in their late 30s fighting. Also, this fight is gonna be really expensive. Whoever is gonna go to watch it live, I just can't imagine how much money you're gonna spend for seats, man. I just can't. I don't know, thousands of dollars. This fight's gonna be crazy expensive. It's gonna be like $100 to order it. I hope not, but it's gonna be expensive, and it's gonna be expensive to order a mismatch, and that hurts the sport. $75 to watch Mayweather beat Canelo, and the fight wasn't very good. So, it's not gonna have a good undercard either. Probably, I do not believe it's gonna have a good undercard. This is a very big fight, very big promotion. These two guys are getting paid very, very well for this fight, and I do not expect any big names fighting on the undercard. Neither do I want Amir Khan or Adrian Broner to fight on the undercard unless they're gonna fight each other. So I don't want Amir Khan versus Luis Collazo again. That fight was boring. Broner versus Molina was boring. I want good fights. Overpaying these guys for bullshit fights anyway. So I want to see good fights. I want to see a Lucas Matisse versus Danny Garcia fight again on this. I want to see a type of fight like that. What I would love, oh my god, this is a dream, right? But it's a pipe dream, of course. But imagine Brandon Rios versus Ruslan Provodnikov. I know Provodnikov has a fight with Lucas Matisse, which I am looking forward to, of course. It's going to be a great fight. But the dream fight for me, World War III, is Brandon Rios versus Ruslan Provodnikov. And if that fight somehow made it into this undercard, I would be very happy to overpay for this fight, man. Very, very happy. But, yeah, this fight, this is good news. It's good news for boxing. It's good news for the hardcore fans. Good news for the mainstream audience. It's good news for the mainstream media to stop talking as much shit about boxing as they always do. Boxing is dead, all this jazz. Boxing's dead, you wouldn't be talking about this fight, would you? Boxing ain't dead. But if this fight's not good, it's not gonna help it. It's not gonna help its popularity. So, yeah, looking at it, glass half empty, this fight just may not be that great in retrospect. These guys may just be past their prime. It just may not be as good of a fight. I don't know if we expect it to be a good fight anyway, though. Do we? Do you expect it to be a good fight? Comment below, please. Comment below. Do you expect this to be a good fight? Or did you ever expect this to be a good fight? Maybe in 2010 because Pacquiao threw like 100 punches every round? Did you? I never thought this would be a good fight. I always thought Mayweather would win by a blowout. And I know that pisses off some packtards, but that's just what I think. And most likely I'd put money. Back in 2010, I said I would bet my life on Mayweather winning. I wouldn't do that anymore. That's stupid. but yeah, looking at a glass half empty, this fight happening isn't that great. But tune into my next video where I look at it glass half full. Why this fight happening is great news for boxing, and is great, and it's gonna help the sport. So there's two sides to every story, right? This was why it's a bad thing, or why it's not that great, but I will make one why it is great. All right, everybody, comment your thoughts, thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, peace.